This podcast is proudly brought to you by Paul's Strength Book, an app for everyone. For less than $2 a day, you can have full access to weight training programs, nutrition, recipes, macro calculators, video library, and you can also track all of your metrics including weight, measurements, strength, and performance. Search for Paul's Strength Book in all good app stores now. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Paul's Body Engineering Podcast. It is now the 10th of January, so we're a couple of weeks into 2024, and I hope everyone that's listening to this is finding their feet, gaining some good momentum, re-establishing their routine, and have set some really big achievable goals for 2024. So what I wanted to speak about today, as I'm running solo, but I do have some amazing interview guests lined up, is your health worth it? Now, it's a bit of a play on words because often, and I see this firsthand, and I have done so for obviously doing this for 10 years, is that often people will sacrifice their health for other aspects of their life. Now, what I mean by that is they'll give up, what they're paying for gym memberships, Pilates, massage, personal training, physio. They'll drop all these sorts of things if other aspects of their life require a focus on finance, or they've sort of fallen behind and things like that. Yet health should be not, I know it's a cliche that health should be an investment, and it is. It has to be an investment. I shouldn't use the word should, because it has to be an investment. Okay, because we're thinking long term here. We're thinking sustainable living. We're thinking healthy and fitness and strong later in life. So it has to be an investment, but we still don't see it that way. And the prime example of how this became really relevant and really to the fore was during COVID. Everything got shut down other than essential services, and people were scrambling, and I mean scrambling for gym equipment. There was a black market of gym equipment for sale on Facebook Marketplace where people were hiking prices of gym equipment so that people would pay exorbitant amounts of money so that they'd have gym equipment at home. So that prime example there of when the world stopped showed us how important health and fitness and training and exercise is to everybody, because they needed to find a way to continue to train. Yet as soon as we've come out of it and we're back to normal living and there's no lockdowns, everyone goes back to normal thinking and normal behaviors, and health becomes a less of a priority, which fascinates me from a sociological point of view. But the point of this podcast is to talk about why health is really worth it. We should not sacrifice other means when, we have to obviously invest in other causes, or a bill comes in that we weren't expecting, or something, we have to buy or whatever, and all of a sudden, I'll drop my personal training, or I won't do the massage this week, or things like that. But if you do that, and you do that regularly, and all of a sudden, and more often than not, we remove it and we don't reinstate it, then your health becomes a sacrifice. You've sacrificed your health for something that, yes, it's pressing at the time, but it doesn't provide you with long-term health benefits. It doesn't provide you with long-term sustainability. I saw a great post the other day from my business coach, actually, and she was referencing how a lot of people will drop certain things, yet they're still prepared to eat out a couple of times a week or get takeaway. They're still prepared, and she was referencing mostly females here, so I want to make that very clear. She was referencing, people spending money on nails, eyebrows, hair, lips, which all is quite expensive or costs a lot of money. And then you've got things like streaming services, Netflix, Disney, Binge, Stan. All of these things add up to substantial amounts each and every week, yet people are still prepared to cut out health coaches, business coaches, personal trainers, gym memberships, Pilates classes, massages, physios, osteos, all these sorts of things that are actually significantly beneficial to you for a long term, not just in the short. So it should never be stopped. You should always look at every other means possible before you drop these things. And I see it time and time again. I experience it firsthand. And I'm not going to begrudge someone for removing their personal training or their online coaching because they are having financial difficulties. I get it, but it should be a last resort. You should look at every other means possible to ensure that you can still maintain your health. Because, when you're under financial pressure or there's just other things going on in your life that require more energy and more attention, immediately your stress levels go up, your anxiety goes up, which is going to impact your sleep, which obviously impacts your health. Now, if your health is impacted and you're not looking after it from another means, so you're not training, you're not focusing on your nutrition, you're not checking in on a week-to-week basis to just sort of maintain that mental capacity, well, are you going to be able to tackle that additional stress, that added stress to your life? Are you going to be able to manage what's going on in your life at that point in time, as well as be a parent, be a mum, be a dad, be a partner, run a business, go to work? Like, when you're at the peak of your powers, when you're training and eating well and feel amazing, you know it firsthand. And as soon as that goes away, your ability to be the best human being you can be diminishes quickly. Okay, but then we take on the mindset of, I'll just suck it up. I'll just grind it out. I'll deal with it. And more often than not, when someone cancels with me, they say, "Oh, look, I will be back because I know how important it is." But you never see them again. And it's something that really needs to be reprioritized. It needs to be prioritized, and I try and educate my clients with it. But I obviously spend time in a lot of fitness circles with a lot of coaches, a lot of personal trainers, a lot of health coaches, mindset coaches, and it's very much considered a luxury. For some strange reason, a lot of those services are considered a luxury item, and they're the first to go. Yet we'll still go on a weekend holiday. We'll still go and spend 2 nights at the W in Brisbane. We'll still go and spend $300 on a fancy dinner, when that money could be reinvested into your health, and then that fancy dinner could be appreciated even more 6 months down the track because you've maintained your health. In fact, you've probably improved it, and you've gotten through whatever situation has cropped up that's caused you stress. You've gotten through it a lot better. You've managed it a lot better. Your relationship with, say, your partner or your kids hasn't been strained because of it, because you are continuing to allow yourself to be healthy. We know full well that when you go to the gym, it's a great way to disperse negative energy. I always say to my clients, use the gym to remove negative energy or turn negative energy into positive energy. You walk in negative, you walk out positive, because you're using that energy in a positive way. And 99.9% of the time when you walk into the gym, even if you're flat, lethargic, tired, angry, moody, you walk out feeling amazing, and you are so appreciative and so glad that you did go to the gym on that given day. Whereas, the self-talk beforehand would have been, no, I don't want to go. I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be fucked. I don't want to do it. That's the self-talk. And I've experienced it myself numerous times. No one's invincible. No one's perfect. But when you constantly go to the gym on a regular basis and continually produce that positive energy, those positive hormones, more often than not, that's how you will think. That's how you will behave. And that's how you can manage other scenarios in your life. Yet when you take it away, when you stop it altogether, well, guess what? That negative energy is going to build up and build up and build up because you don't have an outlet now. And the way you think and the way you carry yourself is going to be more negative. You're going to think more negative. You're going to act more negative. Your mood is going to decrease. So you're going to be more moody around family, around friends. And all of a sudden, those scenarios become harder and harder. Whereas by simply keeping a gym membership, or keeping a personal trainer, or keeping a massage in play, or seeing a mindset coach, or going to a physio once a week, these are things that have substantial benefits that you probably don't realize, and we do take for granted. But when they're gone, like during the COVID years, we're scrambling to reignite them. We're scrambling to reinvest because we know how important it is. And mental health was significantly tested during the COVID period. It was significantly tested because all of our basic human rights were taken away, and we didn't have an opportunity to exercise like we would, to get outside as often as we would, to see family and friends as often as we would. And it was really tested. But many of us still managed through, obviously, being quite intuitive and thinking outside the box, to get gym equipment at home, train outside, go for walks, things like that, were able to maintain their mental health through exercise. And that's the benefit of exercise. That's the benefit of having a trainer. That's the benefit of regularly going to the gym, following a program, checking in once a week and maintaining that point of contact. Is your mental space will be stronger for it. You're always going to be tested. Life always throws things at you. You're always going to have hard times. No one has a perfect life. There's no such thing, in my opinion. Even, big CEOs who are earning squillions of dollars a year would be under the most amount of pressure. Celebrities, they're constantly getting hassled by paparazzi. Sports people, same thing. They're under tremendous pressure. Yes, they earn lots of money, but it doesn't mean they've got a perfect life. They've got so much pressure on them. And, you're never going to have a perfect life. So we're always going to have hurdles to overcome. We're always going to have things we have to face. But if you can make the things that you have to face easier because you're mentally stronger, physically stronger, you're more resilient, you know how to handle things through experience, and you're incredibly, you've got great support around you, you've got great building blocks in terms of your relationships, then those things will become easier to tackle. Those things will become easier to manage. And next thing you know, life becomes easier and you can enjoy it more. And when you go out for that $300 dinner, you will savor it that much more because you've made the sacrifice at the time to better your health and improve yourself. And that way you can tackle things a hell of a lot easier. I'm going to quote my wife, who actually quoted James Clear, but I heard it on her podcast. And just as a shout out to the girls that do the Queen of We've Got You podcast. So please listen to that because it is amazing. She referenced James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. And in that he said, and I have read this myself, and I think it's a fantastic quote, what are you willing to sacrifice? Everyone who has goals, you have to sacrifice something, right? So if you want to lose weight, well, you've got to give up alcohol. You've got to give up junk food. You've got to eat better. You've got to exercise more. That's typical and common. You have to sacrifice those things. If you want to get to the top of a company, if you want to be a CEO, if you want to have business success, well, chances are you've got to sacrifice some sleep, right? Because you've got to work ridiculous hours. You might have to sacrifice family time. You might have to sacrifice a weekend here and there because you've got to work more to get to the top, to get that financial freedom, to get that career off to a flying start. If you want to do a degree, you've got to sacrifice time. You've got to put in the hours to study. Like everything that you want to achieve that's substantial in life requires an element of sacrifice. So what are you prepared to sacrifice? Okay. And this comes back to my original point. Is your health really worth it? So what are you prepared to sacrifice to make sure that your health is really worth it? And when I say worth it, I say that quote unquote because yes, it's an investment. Yes, it costs money, but you shouldn't be sacrificing the money you invest into your health for something else that could go, like a Netflix, like a stand, like a meal out, like your nails getting done on a regular basis, like your hair, like your lips, like your eyebrows. Those things can get pushed back to ensure that your health remains a priority. So I think I'll round it up on that. I think I've got my point across, and I welcome anyone to comment, question, send me a message about this podcast. Please screenshot and share it on your stories. It's certainly a message that I constantly promote and I certainly support, and I want everyone else to obviously take on the same sort of mantra and concept that I do in regards to this because it makes life so much better. We don't want to continually struggle through life each and every day, each and every week, consistently, and we're going, it will get better. It will get better. Have you ever said, I just need a holiday? Have you ever said that? I just need a holiday. And then you get to the holiday, you're cooked, you're burnt out, you enjoy your holiday, you get back off your holiday and go, I need a holiday to get over my holiday. But then you can't afford another holiday for 6 months, so you continually just do the grind. How would you like to actually have regular holidays in place where you physically and mentally enjoy them ongoing? Something to think about, isn't it? So thank you once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you've got any questions, obviously DM me. Otherwise, please screenshot and share this this podcast on your stories. Tag myself at Paul's Body Engineering. If you're interested in any of my coaching services, my training app, I've got a challenge coming up as well. Please jump on my website, paulsbodyengineering.com, or give me a follow on Instagram or Facebook. But as I say to every client every single day, have a great day.